Today's date is January 14th, 2025. So date is a sign language. I'm arting, I'm talking. Talking is a sign language. It's made up communication that I say fairly and I say honestly. I say beautifully at times. Sometimes I say for fun, no harmful. There's fun arting, talking that's not harmful. Joking around. Person knows when a person is joking around or not joking around. Anyways, I'm arting, I'm talking, and I want to talk about how people are misusing the talk, the art, made up by lines and curves to make words. Sign language, the most important sign language is no and stop. Knowing the person isn't your child, knowing the person is fairer than them, they should not expect that person has to go by their made up, learnt talk. What some people begin to believe is unfair. It's fair for them. It's fair for other person that may agree by no trickery nor deceit. But it's not fair to include a person in on made up arting, which is made up talking. Talking, saying, speaking. A person doesn't have to go by, especially grown adults. Children, sign language as children young may fairly have to do by their parents, their guardians talk as fair. They may be expected to do by certain talk that's fair to do by. But a fair and natural doing grown person doesn't have to do by other person's talk. Doesn't matter if they refer to themselves as someone that's holding a top sign language as position. A person doesn't have to go by a police talk. He say, she say, no proof. They don't have to do by no person made up business if the person's not doing by it fairly. But anyways, that can be quite a discussion, and I could say it in several different ways, depending on my mood, depending on my sign language as they. When I say my, I don't like to say it really as an advertising because I really don't like to put ownership on like days and times and years and places. Like only like in the space I'm in, the housing I'm in, I might say, because it's sign language to be the space for me to have ownership to take care of. In my housing, in my certain, it's called a certain, in my rooms, because I have a 1 bedroom with a kitchen, a bathroom. But anyways, I don't want to go over 15 minutes. And I've probably done this video about 3 times already, trying to shorten it. I deleted. But anyways, I wanted to go in regards to the words and the numbers and people speaking about housing and the so-called made up black and white talk. I want to go to housing first. I want to go back to housing. I want to say that housing is important. Each person's supposed to have housing. Babies are in shelter, which is the belly of the woman. Babies, each one of us were babies before. That's naturally born through the belly. In the belly is shelter. When come out of the belly, they're supposed to be born into the hands of a fair and natural born woman and man. A lot of relationships are broken up in regards to males and females. So a lot of young are without the mother and or father. Most likely, the father is not in a lot of homes. Some homes, the father is there and the mother, but a lot of young are not in. They weren't raised in the house with with both parents. But they're supposed to be if there wasn't a lot of interference. There's interferences in families' business. But I wanted to say that housing is important, just like babies are born into shelter, the belly. And without, they're supposed to be born in the hands of a person that protect their body for shelter. So people supposed to have what they call housing to be in, to get decent rest, to get decent sleep, to be able to use the bathroom in peace and comfort. I mean, it's beautiful luxuries. It's called a bathroom with a toilet, a tub, a shower, a sink. It's luxury. It's beautiful built luxury for people in the communities. So, but I want to say people are supposed to have shelter, and some people's luxuries is more classier or it's more luxury in their housing because they're bakers or cooks or they build cars, they build housing, they sew, they make clothing, they make TVs. There's so many different kinds of make that's supposed to be beautiful, helpful, or fun. It's not supposed to be harmful. But people are making the housing matter harmful. They're making it stressful. They're making it where it's hard for people to have it. They boost the costs up for housing so high so that they would be rich and wealthy. They would be millionaires and billionaires, while some people are they're called poor in regards to money. They can't afford housing. And that's not the way it's supposed to be. When people build housing, they're supposed to be fair and natural doing to make it afford for people to be able to afford. Because including people that's poor in regards to monies, there's people that's poor in regards to money and they live in what some people call poor housing or they say poor neighborhoods, but they have beautiful, rich personalities. Their personalities are so beautiful, and they're in each city, state, and country. There's some people that have money they call rich and wealthy and money, but their personalities are rotten. They're spoil minded and they need assistance. They need mental assistance. They are doing practicing business and mistreating people in regards to made up the words. They're using the words unfairly, advertising housing. They're putting the cost up high, making people losing their housing unfairly. It's really it's very it's illegal. It's abusive, it's illegal, it's unfair, and they really do require to be removed out of those positions and have people put in positions in the housing, the government offices. It's called government offices. It's for the people. They have so many uh, offices in what they call government housing, government offices. They have it for the people in the communities to be able to go to get their certain wants and needs, and housing is one. People supposed to have housing to go to. So if the weather's not pleasant outside, they could have housing to go into to protect their body from the not pleasant weather outside. People supposed to have houses so when they want to walk around as they was born, naked. There's nothing wrong with it. Respectfully, should be able to walk around their housing naked if they feel like it. They're supposed to be able to have their own room and their own space if they want to be sign language as alone, respectfully, without force. They can be alone in one room while someone else is in the other room of the part of the house. So they're really not alone. Someone's in the house with them, but they could be in a certain room alone for their own space. Because being alone sometimes is required. It has to be a person's choice and it's supposed to be by no force. It's not supposed to be where people are being broken up because it's happening. It's happened, where people are broken up from their families. It happened to me. I'm the youngest of 10. And I barely see family members of mine. And I have nieces and nephews, great nieces and nephews I haven't even seen before because I've been put through so much trouble that I didn't request. They calling it trials and tribulations. It's some people that's practicing what they call nigger business. They love trying to make a slave out of a person for their business. They want to do because they know I know how to do certain business and they want it and they put me through trouble trying to get it from me, and it's illegal business. And they're supposed to be set up to do for me. Some of them are fear what they've done. Some people fear to have mental assistance. They need some assistance because they've been raised to believe and spoil minded to believe they can have whoever or whatever they want. They've been raised to believe, they've been taught the made up wrong. They've been taught that they don't have to follow no rules, that they own everything or everybody. If the words are made up, it's illegal for a person to think like that. It's only for a person that agree with them. If a person agree with a certain person and they want what the person that's between those two, three, or four or more group of people, if that's what they want amongst one another to wrong, cheat, or abuse one another, that's for them. They can do that. That's legal for them to do that, but it's illegal for them to put it on a person that don't practice it. It's people that call themselves black and white, and they love calling brownies. I'm a brownie. I'm brown skin. My skin is a light brown skin color. I'm a brownie that some people have been calling black since I was a little girl. And when I was a little girl, I would tell them no. I didn't know how to say the words as good as I know how to say the words now. So I would just shake my head and say no. And people were supposed to respect that because I was right and I'm still right. No means no. They're supposed to obey a person's fear to say no and stop. It's the most important word, sign language, to obey. But people have insisted to ignore. I am 56, will be 57 in a few months, June. And I keep telling people to not involve me, and they keep doing it sneaky. I've been going to court for some nonsense. People have been mistreating me. And when I give them unfair back, they say I'm unfair, and I'm not. I'm fair. I wouldn't be fair if I let them get away with mistreating me and act like it's no big deal and try to ignore them. That trying to ignore them is unreal. Most likely a person's going to get further abused if they ignore the person or let the person keep doing it. They're going to end up with the very, very short end of the stick, and they're not going to feel good about not sticking up for themselves, not protecting their bodies. But I'm just saying, because people putting me in black and white business and they calling me black, trying to act like black is beautiful. They mistreating people and lying to people. And some people thought it was okay when they was young, and they grow up thinking it's okay because people saying black is beautiful, and they really setting the person up to appear as dirty behave. They're setting them up to practice dirty sex and acts or be for money unfairly or dirty abusively. That's how they're setting the person up, because they're people that go by no rules. And rules are required in life. And they know it. Treat them a certain way. And they don't like it. They'll let you know that there's rules in life. But they do that to other people because they trying to make niggers out of other people. They do it to their own skin complexion. It'd be the person with their same kind of skin color. And they do it to people with other skin colors. They don't care whoever it is that they think they want something from or they jealous of, they put them through trouble, trying to break them or trying to make them do something that they really don't have the right to make the person. The person's supposed to want to do willingly. Make is supposed to be willingly. It's not supposed to be by force, nor trickery or deceit, no wronging, cheating, and abusing. Housing's supposed to be for each and every person to have. There's some young teenagers that can live in their own house. They can have an apartment and have children, and they do better than some older adults people. Some older adults are beautiful. They've been like that since they was teenagers. And there's some teenagers that's they're not fair, and they don't, just like some older people, they're not fair, and they're not fair to have their own space. Someone need to be there. or they need some mental assistance. So some people need someone to be there to watch over them, to make sure they're being fair doing. While some people need